Welcome to a new episode of The TiVo Show. 2 episodes ago, I reviewed the 2015 Mini Cooper S. With this generation, the 3rd generation of Mini Coopers, they decided to expand their range a little further. So, this is the all-new 2015 Mini Cooper 5-door. And let's not mess around, this is a very important car for Mini. This is the first time the hatch range is expanded to a 5-door model, and we'll get onto how well it does that later on, with it being now a rival to the Golf 5-door and the Focus 5-door and the Fiesta 5-door, and so on. Design-wise, I actually like what they did with the whole turning the 3-door into a 5-door thing a lot. They did it in a very Mini way. They maintained its compact look and its small hatch look, and kudos to them for that. Practicality-wise, a word of caution. You do get the sense that you are paying for, in a sense, the convenience of not having to fold your front seats down to get people into the back. For example, you open the rear doors, and looking at the footwell, you can definitely tell that this is a Mini. There's not that much room, but by no means is that a bad thing. This is a Mini. You should know what you're paying for, and I do like that about Minis, how they're compact, and they had to maintain that compact feel. On a positive practicality note, because it is that much longer, you can fold the rear seats down, and you can fit probably a few more things in there than you could have with the other car. And because it is that much longer, this takes me to the handling, you don't really feel that it's that much longer unless you're parking, but even then it's very minute. Like you notice it if you think about it, really, if you know what I'm trying to say with that. But handling wise, it's fantastic. Of course, it's a Mini, right? It's a Mini Cooper. The wheel at each corner thing is superb. It always has been, and hopefully always will be, and they've done the same thing with this car. Gearbox is a 6-speed manual, which I love. It's actually very smooth. It's fantastic. And when you throw this car into sport mode, it's a little bit sharper. The whole car is a little bit sharper, and it's very fun to drive. Very, very fun to drive, actually. Powering this thing, because it's the base Cooper, is a 3-cylinder engine, turbocharged engine, that puts out 134 horsepower. And that might not seem like a huge amount for a hatch, but the way they deliver it's actually really nice. Like, it's got a lot of kick, and even in 6th gear, it's got an impressive amount of power. And I'm really, really impressed with how they've done that with this car. Like, with this car, you don't need the Cooper S to have fun, and I quite like that, because in the previous generations, when you drove them, you got a sense that there was that big power difference. But it mattered. This time it really doesn't matter because of how they deliver the power. Interior-wise, wow, it's a Mini, right? It's just like the 3-door I had on a couple episodes ago. Very quirky, very fun. This one isn't as well equipped, but it's got like the switches for the starter, the switches for everything. I like that. It's very airplane-y. And with the LEDs and stuff, like for example, the LEDs here around the center console show the revs. That's fun. And I said this with the Countryman and the Paceman. You really get the sense that Mini want you to enjoy their cars, want you to have fun in their cars, and that is something that I cannot appreciate enough. It's really great. It really is. So this car is good. I like it. But so let's say it's 134 power is not enough power for you, which is an understandable point of view. You want a hot hatch, but you want a 5-door hot hatch. Well, luckily, Mini thought of that for you. Welcome to the all-new Mini Cooper S 5-door, and just like the Cooper S I had on the show 2 episodes ago, it's fantastic. It drives great, handles beautifully, and it's very fun. We'll get onto that a little later, because on the fun side of things, I want to talk about how this is the fully spec'd up version. It's got this awesome center console sat-nav system, which is really fun and quirky. Just on the last one, it's got those really awesome green, mid, and sport mode settings, which if you turn it here, lets motor hard, little go-kart logo, just fantastic. So much fun to drive in. Actually, a cool thing about this center console is you operate it from down here with this little switch pad, but it's also a scratch pad. So if you're, for example, you're changing the brightness settings of the interior lights, you just sort of move your finger on top of the pad, and it lets you control the level of brightness instead of twisting it, which is kind of fun. It's neat. Adds a little bit more excitement to the experience, and I really enjoy that about these cars. But back to how it drives. Other than the fact that it's a little longer and the fact that it's a manual gearbox, it's really pretty much identical to the last Cooper S I tested. And if you want to check out that review, click the link and definitely do that. But this gearbox I want to talk about for a second. It's great. It was smooth on the base Cooper S, and it's a little clunkier on this one, but that's because I suspect it has to deal, well, it does have to deal with a lot more power, and that's a 55 horsepower bump to 189 horsepower, which is quite a lot for a Mini, and it handles it very well though. I mean, the gearbox, when you're in mid mode or green mode, it's very smooth. It's only in sport mode where you feel that clunkiness, but it's not a bad thing at all, for sure. The wheel at each corner thing, perfect. It handles very well. You don't really feel the length. Actually, you do feel the length, sorry, when you're driving on the ice. Both these cars drive very well on the ice, actually. If you're going around the corner in sport mode though, it does get a little tail happy, which is, it's good fun. So it's not, it doesn't let you slide out of control by any means, but it's very fun. It's a nice experience. If you're just going around a slow corner and all of a sudden the tail's out in a front wheel drive car, I enjoy that a lot. So, but yeah, handles nicely, like I said. This interior is great, just like the other Mini. It feels bigger on the inside, but it's not actually that big compared to other cars, which is a very good Mini feature. It's fun, it's quirky, and I love it. I really, really enjoy this car. It's the same issue with the practicality with the 5 doors though, as I said on the other one. You get the sense that you're paying, like I said, for the convenience of not having to fold the front seats down. And that's not a bad thing to pay for sure. It adds up much convenience, especially if you transport other people regularly. Because this is an everyday car, right? But this is the Cooper S, this is the hot hatch version. And as a performance car, it checks all the boxes. It's exciting, it's fun, it's got a great gearbox, it's got a great engine, the 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo. It's fantastic, and it's got power, a lot of power in every gear ratio, just like the other car. Even in 6th, it's got a surprising amount of power, which I'm pretty impressed with. So, yeah, I like this car a lot. Overall, both these cars are just as fantastic as their 3-door counterparts. If I had to choose, it would be the Cooper S for me. It's just got that much more performance. It's better equipped, and I like the color too, and like the stripes, and I like it's better looking with this grille versus that one. However, if you're in the market for a Mini and like overall performance doesn't really concern you, but you still like to have fun in a car, this car would be perfect for that. It's still very fun to drive. It's still got plenty of power, and it looks fantastic. I mean, I love both these cars. The 5 doors are good. They're not as practical as a lot of 5-door hatches just because the doors are that much smaller, but they had to do that to maintain the fact that it's a Mini, but it is better than squeezing people by folding down the front seats, which is definitely a plus. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Check us out on social media, challengeuniversityshow.com, facebook.com/challengeuniversity, or follow me on Twitter. Once again, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Cheers.